But the real fantastic development is the change the new Silk Road is causing in Africa. There is a completely new spirit where African leaders who for many years were completely desperate about poverty, famine, wars, they are now saying, there is a complete chance to overcome poverty and underdevelopment with the help of China.
Meet the Transaqua Project, a plan to replenish Africa's dwindling Lake Chad and bring the 30+ million people who live in the lake's basin into the 21st century. The project, many decades in the making, is now moving forward, thanks in large part to a commitment from China. Unlike most rivers and lakes, Lake Chad is a shallow basin with no drainage to the ocean. Because of this, it fluctuates in extent, and sometimes dramatically. However, due to mass migrations across much of northern Africa, mostly due to interventionist wars from the West, Lake Chad is being over-irrigated and depleted faster than it can replenish itself. Over the last 30 years, the lake has shrunk by 95% from its original size, and rainfall in the area has decreased by 15%. However, unlike typical solutions offered from the West, like climate-friendly projects or drilling for groundwater, Lyndon and Helga Zepp-LaRouche, who have championed the Transaqua Project for decades, and now China, with its win-win strategy for mutual economic development, understand that to solve Central Africa's drought crisis, these countries need big infrastructure, not appropriate technologies.
Imagine that in all these 35 years, nobody in the West took care of exploring this possibility. And only now, thanks to the activity and the fight of the LaRouche movement, the Schiller Institute, the EIR, and by the authors of that project, in the first place, my friend Mr. Marcello Vichi, that this is now again on the table, and actually it's now going towards what we were supposed to do 35 years ago.
Originally designed in 1972 by the Italian engineering firm Bonifica, Transaqua collects water from Congo River tributaries in the Democratic Republic of Congo and the Central African Republic via a 2,400-kilometer waterway, diverting the water into the Chari River, a tributary of Lake Chad. Bonifica estimates that just 3 to 4% of the Congo River runoff would be enough to refill the lake, and studies are now underway to increase that flow for other water diversion projects, which would create power and irrigation opportunities across Central and Northern Africa.
What has changed is two elements. First, the entrance of China as a global power for economic development in the world. This has changed the global paradigm. And the nations of Africa have realized that China is now a good partner for development. And they see that they've got nothing from the West in the past, where whenever they wanted a loan, there were conditions attached to the loans which made the situation worse than before. And they saw instead that China offers commercial loans with a normal interest rate. They build infrastructures, they finance infrastructure, or they build themselves. They are interested in developing those countries as partners, as economic and trade partners. So this is one element. The other element is that nations like Italy, which is at the forefront of the immigration crisis, realized that it was left alone facing this emergency. And at one point, they decided, if we are alone, if nobody helps us, then we'll seek a solution. And they know very well that the solution is not policing the costs of Libya in order to stop human trafficking. They will always find a way. The solution is to bring development there, to create jobs, etc. So Transaqua has been offered as a golden opportunity to solve the problem.
Drawing just 3 to 4% of the second largest river in the world, Transaqua would be the biggest water diversion project on the Earth. And no continent deserves a project of this magnitude more than Africa. On August 21st, the Chinese newspaper People's Daily Online featured an article titled Chinese and Italian firms reached deal to refill fast-drinking Lake Chad, announcing a deal signed in Hangzhou, China, between China Power, the company that built the Three Gorges Dam, and Bonifica. The article reports, "The agreement is about setting forth the principles of a technical and financial assistance arrangement towards the actualization of water transfer from the Congo Basin to Lake Chad," the Lake Chad Basin Commission, the LCBC website, reported. Power China will fund the studies at the cost of $1.8 million, while LCBC will provide all necessary information and assistance. The article also prominently features the work of the LaRouche movement in making Transaqua become a reality. Thanks to the fight taken up by the LaRouche organization over the years and the initiators of Transaqua, the project is today becoming reality within the framework of the Belt and Road Initiative. Executive Intelligence Review magazine and the Schiller Institute in 2015 arranged the first meeting between LCBC and the brains behind Transaqua. This was followed in December of 2016 by the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the LCBC and Power China and subsequent contacts between Bonifica and the Chinese company. For comparison, the Memorandum of Understanding estimates a capture of 50 cubic kilometers a year. China's new Southwater North project redirects 28 cubic kilometers per year, and all U.S. Western water projects combined equal a flow of roughly 20 cubic kilometers a year. And with water comes life, making the irrigation potential with Transaqua also one of the largest in the world. The project would allow the development of a series of irrigated areas for crops or livestock over an area of 50 to 70,000 square kilometers in the Sahel zone in Chad, northeast Nigeria, northern Cameroon, and Niger, an area larger than California's Central Valley, which is 47,000 square kilometers. The project, however, can still be sabotaged. As soon as word of the agreement between Power China and Bonifica was made public, including being picked up by the UN High Commission on Refugees, classic British imperial propaganda began to surface about Transaqua. The project's most egregious offense? Replenishing one of the continent's largest lakes is going to be bad for the environment.
This comes from neo-Malthusianism ideologies, which are not African-born. They are coming from Europe. These people went to the Sorbonne to study this bullshit, or to other university in London, or even in Germany and Italy, and they become puppets of a new form of colonialism, which uses environmentalism to prevent development.
Instead, imagine a world where projects like Transaqua are the new normal. That's the new win-win paradigm being organized by China. And now is the time for the U.S. to get on board.